Hey guys, and welcome back to Into the Square, your weekly podcast for social issues and current affairs. I'm your host for this episode, Kishore, and with me we have Bishop and Bidan. How you guys doing, guys?
Yo, what's up? What's
Yeah,
up?
hi guys. Yeah, we're good. So thank you for introducing
No worries,
us.
no worries. As you can see, Sanjog's not here with us today. That's because he had some problems at home and like he couldn't bring his audio equipment. He went home and he couldn't bring his audio and like recording equipment, so we couldn't make it today. Bishop's only the only person that's been consistent, you know.
You know,
Well done, bro.
all of you guys are so
Innit?
inconsistent.
Sorry, guys. Sorry for the
Consistently quiet though. I'm joking.
Oh wow.
No, I'm joking. I'm
No,
joking.
my laptop was loud before. Now obviously
All right,
I'm using my sister's laptop.
all right, moving on. Let's introduce the topic for this episode. For this episode, we're talking about racism in the UK society, and it's a very important topic because of what's going on, like especially after the Euros, after the Euro final, like racism has been more prevalent, especially to like from like last year to this year. We've been seeing a lot more. It's been building up and up and up. So we felt like it was more important to talk about it and talk about it. So what do you guys think initially on feel about racism, like how on like the fact that more people are being more openly about it, and why do you think people are showing their true colors now? Like why is it more prevalent now? What do you guys think about that?
So I was personally very surprised by the amount of racism and open racism we saw, especially on social
Yeah.
media, after Rashford, Saka, and
Back
Sancho.
what's his name?
Sancho, bro.
And Sancho. Yeah, so once they missed their penalties, it was just so rife.
Yeah.
And so with all the progress that we've made, would expect that that sort of racism might not exist in the UK
Yeah.
to that extent. But I guess that the reason we saw so much racism is because most of the time, even though people are racist or they might have prejudiced views, they'll just hold it back. But because the Euros are such an emotional event, especially for England, people didn't really contain it. So they just let what they exactly thought about other people or other races out. It just gave them that opportunity to do so.
I feel
Oh,
like because
yeah,
sorry,
go on.
go on, sorry.
No, go ahead,
Go
bro.
on, sorry.
I was
No,
gonna
but I feel
say.
like
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so no, I was gonna say, you know how Bishop was saying how people have these racist thoughts themselves, but then obviously they don't like really like act on it or they don't really speak on it. But then I think with like after the years, yeah, but also like with social media as well, because I'm guessing like no one's actually gone to his face and said you this, you that. Like I mean, they do it in football stadiums, but they're drunk as hell as well. But although that's not an excuse, but what I'm trying to say is if they were like confronted, like say if Rashford came to them, they wouldn't be able to say anything to him. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's like because it's social media as well. You're behind like a phone or like a keyboard, so it's like that way. People are a lot more like quick to like voice their like own like racist thoughts because they think there's no like what's it called like there's not a lot of what's that word that I'm looking for. So they're not held accountable. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Like they're not held
yeah.
accountable for it. So that's why I think people do it a lot on social media and especially because of the Euros too. But yeah.
So sorry for interrupting. I was just gonna say like I think we see it more nowadays because like a lot of people like you see one person doing it and then like a whole like mob follows. It's like this like mob like mentality is like you see one person doing it and it's like a domino effect where you see
Yeah.
one person saying it, oh let me join in. Like I feel like that's why it's like it's a loud. I think it's still a minority of people doing it, but it's a loud minority, and I think that's what the problem is because we can hear that a lot of that stuff will be like more affected towards if you hear a lot of negativity rather than the negativity will overshadow the positivity. Like
Yeah,
it,
but I also just wanted to say that I've seen also loads of support
Yeah.
for all like the especially those three black players, and I saw like even like an advertisement that BT did where they were saying that they support
Yeah.
the free players. So I've seen a lot of support as well. So I guess it's also a matter of fact that because we thought, oh no, people are gonna be racist. So when you have an initial thought like that, I guess you go kind of looking for it as well. So I guess in social media, everyone was like, oh yeah, oh my god, like all the football fans are gonna be so racist to these free players. So people will just tend to go look for it. People will just share that. So I guess that's what brings it to light as well.
Yeah.
Then if we go searching for all the support there is that the players are getting as well, and people are sharing that as well, then you'd also see that there's quite a lot of support for those players.
No, like Bishop was saying, you know how like it was the Euros as well, innit? So it was like prevalent in like the I can't even say that word. Oh my god, it was on social media as well. Yeah, so you could like it was like on Twitter it was trending. So if you typed in Saka or something, you'd see like some of these messages too. So I think that's what it was though. Like it was trending. It was in the mainstream media. Like people like were covering it a lot. So I think that's what it was like. But it does exist even like when say like when Rashford like doesn't play a good game for like United. Like he would still be getting like racist messages like Fred, like I think, or some other players when they missed like the penalty in like the final of the Euros as well. Europa League, like they were like being like racist towards them as well. So I guess it's just like a matter of like you going to looking for it, but also like if it's in the mainstream media and if you're just seeing like it being done like publicly, I think that's what it is more so.
Yeah.
And to say as well, like yeah, like Bishop was saying, there is a lot of supporters also.
I feel like not even just. I feel like it keeps getting worse and worse every time like there's something like big in the news happens. Like I feel like you see more and more people being racist because like I feel like the whole like domino effect started from like what really ignited this like racism. I feel like and what really shone a spotlight on it was like obviously last year and like the George Floyd murder. Like we saw a lot more like in the news. More like people being more openly racist. I felt like, especially after that event, because I think because of the whole pandemic as well, people were more agitated. They were more angry. They were more pissed off. They were just in their homes. They couldn't do anything. So I feel like more people would be like open about it because more people didn't really give it. More people didn't really care that much. What do you guys think?
So with that, like, I wouldn't say that it's a thing where people are more racist now, especially when you hear stories of people that came in the 1990s or the 1980s. You hear like some horrific things that I mean, at least me and Kiso, where we live, is quite ethnic, and Bidan as well. So we don't really experience those things, so it seems so foreign to us. So right now, I would say that in person, well, for at least people that live in London, it is better. But I guess it's we're highlighting social media because that's popped off now. Like it's only been Instagram and all that's been popping off since like 2012, 2013, and so I guess that's why we're seeing it there now.
Yeah,
like.
that's a good point. But I'm just saying like even like in social media before, like let's say 10 years ago, before when like social media, we didn't see that much people being racist as well. I mean,
I think we're quite young as well at the time, so we weren't really like aware of it too. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean now, like I understand what's wrong and right. And then I'm not saying that was like 10 years ago. Let's say 10 years ago. Like obviously I knew it, but I wasn't like actively looking for it. I wasn't actively like speaking on it because like Bishop said, like we grew up in like a really ethnic area. So obviously like that means that we're in a sort of a bubble. So we think like, oh yeah, like I don't know, I don't. People are not racist. Like to me, say like they might be passively racist, but they're not like what's it? They're not like racist to our faces. So it's like we're not looking for it. We're not used to it. So it's like whatever. But now we can see like it happening a lot. And then also like with social media, like the usage has gone up so much, and like everyone's on social media, and like they are just again no accountability like as much. So I think that's what like just makes them like a lot more like open about it. And then I think also like you know how with the government recently, and then like you just hear like all these news reports coming out. And then like Brexit, like all these things, I think these are all building it up. And then it's like people are like more and more open about it. Like before, I don't know, like 10 years ago, I wouldn't even hear about like us trying to leave Europe because like a lot of immigrants are coming in. Do you know what I mean? But then like because of Brexit, it was more open. Like oh yeah, like one of the main reasons was like oh there's not gonna be a free border, and then that's that kind of like just implying you don't want foreigners in your country. And like we voted for that like publicly the whole like. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you're more open with that, and then like, I think it's just like people are more open about it. Just more.
I feel like about it more. I feel like before, like when we were younger, you'd see like people being like passively racist, so like just saying like quick little remarks. Like before then, you wouldn't like really realize it, like they were being like racist. But now I feel like they're just more intentional about it. Like even in like we were gonna watch like the Euros in Wembley, me and Bishop, and we were like scared to go because like we thought like people were gonna be racist towards us and like you know because we're like two brown guys and like we're going to like Wembley where it's gonna be like a sea full of white people, like surprisingly like in Wembley and then we were scared to go, So
I mean,
feel like
it is England, bro.
yeah, I
man
know.
said, oh, surprising to see a sea full of white people in Wembley, bro. It is England.
In Wembley though, but like if
Now Wembley normally it's
normally,
not. Though, that's the thing.
for everyone that
Normally.
doesn't know, Wembley is like really like multicultural. So like it's really surprising to see a lot of white people in Wembley at one time. But obviously, because the England stadium's there, like we get that. So like we decided not to go because of that. So
Yeah, I mean, there's more to
yeah,
it, but yeah, that's one of the
Well,
reasons.
that wasn't the only reason, obviously, but I feel like, yeah. So moving on from that, we just I want to talk about what can be like done to like we see a lot of people doing a lot of methods to tackle racism. Like we see people like calling people out on social media more, and like we see like maybe we see like governments trying to enforce stricter rules on people who are being racist. Do you think these methods are working, or do you think there could be like more to be done to tackle racism? What do you guys think?
I think all these methods, what they do is they do prevent people from, being openly racist. But the matter of changing people's
Perspective,
what's
yeah.
inside their head, or like what's inside what they're thinking inside, or like that's very very
Yeah.
difficult. And that I don't think that normally happens with just you talking about
Exactly.
it, or like you just being aware of it. I don't think people inherently become less discriminant of other races just by someone telling them that. I think it's a matter of intermingling and just having experience with all different kind of race people of all different sort of background and different kind of races, and the government can't exactly force people to do that, and that is not a practical thing for everyone. Like for example, if you live in some village in Scotland, you're just not going to be able to interact with people from other backgrounds. So I guess all these things. So in conclusion, what I do think is it helps stop people from actively being racist, but not necessarily, I guess, change how they feel.
Yeah.
But when you say calling people out on social media, you mean like calling people that are racist out on social media? Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
I think I mean, like Bishop was saying, it doesn't like help. Like I mean, I think it does help. Cause that guy that posted about Rashford or all these players, like they found out where he works. I think he used to work at like Savile Homes or something, and then like the whole company was like, oh, we're gonna like suspend him and stuff. I think if with stuff like that, if you're like if there's gonna be a little bit of like if you're gonna like go out and actively look for these racists and like company, there's like a negative like there's something negative gonna happen to them after this, then obviously it does help. But then like otherwise it's like just calling them out for like and cancelling them. I don't think it does anything. But I think obviously if you do something about it and like they lose their job or like this, that, and the other, I think that way it does help out a little bit. Because say I see that and then I was gonna write a racist thing, I'll be like, oh no, like I might lose my job as well. Like how like we're quite careful in a sense where it's like you have to be very if you're gonna be thinking, oh, if I am racist I can lose my job, then obviously it's gonna be like like you wouldn't be as openly and publicly racist in it. But then again, like you feel like hide these emotions that you're gonna like act out as well. I don't know.
So one thing I wanted to mention here is like, do you not think like people are, so when you're being racist there, it's like you want to hurt someone, or like you want to hurt someone's feelings, or like all these players, all these people that are racist towards these players was because they were hurt that we lost the Euro 2020. So I guess all that negative emotion, like they wanted to get rid of it in one way. So they got rid of it through trying to hurt the players and trying to put them down through their race. So let's say like we do call out people on racism. Do you still think that these negative feelings and negative thoughts will just be directed in another way?
That's
like,
what
do you
I
not
feel
think
like.
that,
Even like when you call people out, like it just shines a light. Do you not think if we're like calling people out, it would like shine a bigger light on the racism, so like more people will see it, and then more people might be attracted to like do it themselves? Because there's like this whole like, oh, like he can't speak his mind. Like I thought it was a free country. That's what people are thinking, and then more people will be pissed off at that. Because there's like both sides to it. There's like positives to like calling people out, and I feel like there's negatives as well. Because you don't want to like just shine such a big light on it where more people it gets viewed by everyone, and then like more people might be encouraged to be racist as well. Because like there's this whole like, even on the internet you can stay anonymous as well. So I feel like fair enough, people who like showing their profile pictures and like showing where they live and stuff, like do it as well. But there's also a lot of people who are just anonymous on the internet that are also racist. Like, well, how are you gonna like find them and like make them lose their jobs or something like that?
And you can also create throwaway
Exactly.
accounts. Like obviously, if you start calling people out, yeah, so that might work for like 6 months, and then people get smarter
Yeah.
anyway. So they get around it. They'll create throwaway accounts to just to just remain anonymous that way.
Yeah. So like, so you hear people like influencers. There's been this whole like thing where influencers are calling for stronger verification checks on social media. So like those like those anonymous accounts, like no one can be anonymous on social media anymore. Like you hear that a lot. So people, what do you think about that? Do you think that's like? Do you think that's helpful, or is it like, is there like good connotations and bad connotations? What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's good connotation and bad connotation too, because obviously even social media, there is competition. I mean, we don't really think that because obviously right now it's just Facebook
Yeah.
and Instagram. But just because let's say like Instagram makes it so that you can't be anonymous in there, people just move somewhere else where they can be anonymous.
Exactly.
So there might be like a market for social media where people can remain anonymous. So just because you remove it from one of the biggest social media doesn't mean like another social media won't take up that market, and where people can just direct their negative thoughts there.
I feel like, but with the like, I feel like the reason like you kind of lose the sense of like, I know it's like I'm trying to like say something negative about this. It's like you sort of lose the sense of like an anonymity towards the internet, because it feels like you need that sort of like, the internet's made for like anyone can use it, anyone can do anything on it. I know it's like, but I feel like with doing that, I feel like it sort of reduces the anonymity. And what you're saying about being on like Instagram and stuff, they could just go to another place as well. Yeah, that's like
But
one of the negatives.
I was gonna say, obviously, like it sounds good in practice. Yeah, like obviously I've said, oh, call him out on social media, and then like make them lose their jobs and all this. But then obviously, like yeah, and we've said, oh, because people can just make throwaway accounts. But if you have to like get verified and like by your ID or whatever on social media before you join, obviously that way you wouldn't be able to create such throwaway accounts because it's kind of linked to you. So I think obviously that kind of sounds like a answer to what we're talking about here. But I just think like just putting your whole details and like having to verify yourself on social
Exactly.
media and all these things, I don't think that's like a good thing at all. Like, and just because of, like for your privacy as well, like privacy laws and all
Yeah.
that. But also like, what about people that aren't like what's documented as well? Do you know what I mean? Like those people like out there.
And also,
Too,
I feel
and
like,
then social media is also the internet too. So like if it can't just be the UK that does it, it has to be every single country in the world that like kind of does
Yeah.
it, because otherwise like what if someone from like Nepal has been racist to us? Like, do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't really
Yeah.
be able to do anything about that on social media. So I just don't think practically it works at all. But
and also I feel like, yeah, people can like, if someone's like being racist now, like I feel like people can change though. That's the thing. Like if you have like that verification thing, like, and then you did say something stupid, say something racist, and like, but like that's not really like, maybe that's not like what you really think. Maybe you're just saying it because it's social media and you're trying to be a troll. Like I feel like if you've put that out there yourself, and then you've mistakenly put that out there, but that's now your identity. I feel like that could be also like a bad thing as well. Like people can change, people can grow. Like we should at least give them that opportunity for them to realize it's wrong.
But I was saying I don't really
You
agree
don't
with that
think-
whole thing about how they might have just did it as a troll. I just think you shouldn't do it at all, innit? Like why?
No,
be
you shouldn't
racist?
do it at all. But like, say if you're like, you're young, you're 18, you're 19, like you don't know much about it, and you're just like going with the flow. Like I'm trying to like sympathize with them here. Obviously, it's very wrong. Like you should never even have that thought in your head. But like, if you see a lot of other people in your like community doing it, in your background doing it, you feel like, oh, you don't really get a sense of like, you don't really deep how bad it is.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're living in a multicultural area and you're saying all this like horrible stuff, like you will get looked at, you will like get like cast down upon, like. But obviously if you're in a town full of like a little small village full of white people, like, and you say like something racist, like I feel like that's just like maybe like that might be accepted. So if you say that on social media, maybe you don't really fully realize the gravity of it, what you're saying. So I feel like maybe they should be given an opportunity to like realize what they're doing is wrong, other than like just brand them a racist just like that. Maybe they are racist, but like anyone can have the opportunity to grow. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're just like, I feel like people that are racist are just ignorant as well. For the most part, like it's like we're all humans at the end of the day, innit? So I don't know. But also, but I was gonna say I also read, you know how like this is so stupid. It's like a tangent, but you know how like people that like are Asian and like in the European continent, I think we're like mixed with like we're Homo sapiens, but also like, we're mixed with the other breeders on it.
Or
Neanderthals, yeah. But I think people from Africa haven't, or something like that. I don't know, something like that. But no, that's just like such a mad like off topic like conversation. But yeah.
So
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
why?
no, I'm just saying that we're
well, I get what you mean though. I get what
like,
you
do you know what I'm trying to say? We're all humans at the end of the day.
because no, because like obviously like when like people white like Europeans are racist to Africans, they will call them like like monkeys and that. But it's ironic that it's
Yeah,
Europeans that have the
true.
Neanderthal DNA. But
Yeah, that's very true. So, like, do you guys think it will ever not be a problem, like racism? Do you guys think like, yeah, like it's always gonna be in our society? It's always gonna be like an issue that we have to solve, or do you guys think in like maybe like 10, 20 years down the line, it won't be a problem anymore?
I don't think it's a matter of 10, 20 years down the line sort of thing.
No, maybe like in the
um,
let's say the future, like just a,
I feel like racism will exist as long as we group ourselves into these
Ooh.
different like groups. Like,
That's a very good
you know what I
point.
mean? Like, yeah, I feel like maybe like like 300 years down the line when there's like globalization and all this Brexit all this nonsense just goes away. There's free travel
Yeah.
everywhere. Most countries are all at a similar economic level. Then maybe like I guess racism might not exist, but then that could also mean that different groups or like different cultures you might not really have that anymore.
Yeah.
Just because the world is so connected and everyone is just like intermingling, you lose that sort of difference in
Mm.
people. So I don't know. I don't think it's a problem that we solved in the next 10, 20 years, and I don't think it would be a problem that will be solved without having rid of people just grouping themselves. Like,
Yeah, that's a very good point.
There was this study. I don't remember when it was, but I remember it was like, oh, white people would be like the minority in the US by a certain by a certain date in the future. But then again, but then you know how we're talking about racism and all these things. It's not just like racism against like black people by white people. It's obviously racism like all over in it. So even though like as long as there's differences like in people, I think people will just find something to like hate them on each other and just call them out on that anyway. So
Yeah.
like maybe even like say we took over the UK and then like but white people became the minority here. Yeah, like what if like at that point we start being racist to white people, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
yeah, there's a good book like I don't know if you guys know by like
Noughts and crosses, yeah.
Noughts and
Yeah,
Noughts
that's a
and
mad
Crosses,
book.
where, like with the world is like black power and the white people are the
Yeah.
minority. It's like switching.
I remember reading that in English.
Oh, I haven't read
So
it
I guess
before.
like that's the scenario that Bidan is talking about.
But I feel like, I feel like it's because what you said, Bishop, about like the whole like group mentality and like the whole tribal aspect of like human nature. It's in our nature to be like tribal. It's in our nature to be like grouped together and like stay in like our like our culture because like we're like tribal in like nature. So I think like I don't think it will ever be like solved. Like I don't think it will ever not be an issue. It's always going to be an issue. But I feel like it will be more people will be aware of it. More people will get educated on it. But still, I feel like it's that big of an issue where it's. I don't think it's ever going to be solved because of our human nature within ourselves. Like we always like want to stay in our communities, no matter how like connected the world is, and no matter how like experiences we share, and like, no matter how many people that we meet and like different people we meet, we always want to stay close to home. I feel like as a human nature.
Yeah, but I guess that's for now. Like you gotta understand that all this the reason that we have different cultures and the reason why like there's different I guess races of people is because people just stayed where they were. Like most of the time, like for example, like our grandparents just probably were born at a certain location and they just stayed in that location. Like they just wouldn't move around. And I guess it's the isolation that you get like distinct features in different groups of people, and the reason why you get different cultures because groups are isolated from each other, so they develop different cultures, they develop different ways of living, and so I guess that's the reason why we get all these different cultures and stuff. But I get now like how long has it been like since the world has been globalized? It hasn't been that long. It's only been like 50, 60. Obviously, like you had aircrafts from 1900s, but like proper like intermingling has only started from 1920s,
Yeah.
1930s. I would say like mass migration, and even now like things have changed so much. Like I remember Nepal when me and Bidan used to live there. All these Western shows, which this wasn't a thing. Like who would watch Friends? Like you get me, like Friends. No one would watch
Yeah.
that. Like 15 years ago. But now,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
especially in
yeah.
like Kathmandu and that, if you haven't watched Friends, like who are you? Like where you been living?
That's true.
Like-
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so I think are happening quite rapidly, and
It-
maybe
I feel like it
some-
is happening rapidly, but I feel like this is gonna be like this is like too big of a topic, too big of an issue that maybe I don't know. I wish it would like it'd be so amazing for like people, but I feel like it would just be too big of an issue for people to like get over their insecurities and get over their stigmas against other people.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say
you-
like, bro, I don't think racism is like, yeah, it's not gonna end anytime soon, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, not
No,
anytime.
like,
Not in our
yeah,
lifetime.
yeah. As in, like, people like I said, like, people will still be racist, and like the bishop was saying, like, oh, globalization has helped a lot. So like even us, like coming like in London, and like so obviously where I live, it's like full of Nepalese people. It's full of like South Asians and like Africans and like do you know what I mean? And even my school was like basically like a white minority school. Like I don't know about the other years. My year mostly was like I think white people were probably the minority, and then obviously everyone else was like just like ethnic people were
Yeah.
just like the majority. If you just
Yeah.
look at it in a sense where it's like white people versus like everyone else. So that's what I'm saying. Like it has improved a lot. Like I feel like we are kind of integrated into the society in the UK too. Like people look at me, like they wouldn't say, oh, when they say where you from. I know obviously that you get the odd like racist person as well, but obviously they look at us like as like people like, as British people, and like especially people our age, like someone your age will look at you and think, oh yeah, you're British. Like they wouldn't think, oh like you're like brown. I mean I don't know. I mean that's what I feel like anyway. I don't know what you guys feel.
No, so the comment that you made about how we went to like a proper ethnic school.
Yeah.
So we talk about all this racism between like white and ethnic minority, but I feel like there's a lot of racism within
Yeah.
ethnic minorities as well.
Yeah.
Like the way like Asian community looks down on the black community is quite
Yeah.
mad. And then like if you're like Indian and then or like you Hindu something like that, then you look down on like
Muslim people.
people that
Yeah.
are Muslim,
Muslim,
or like
yeah.
fuck yeah.
That's
Yeah, and then also I know that Arabs look down upon like brown people just because loads of brown people go to Arab countries for work and they
Yeah.
don't necessarily do like good high paying work to like kind of labor jobs. Yeah, so there is a lot of racism within ethnic
exactly.
minorities
So
as well, I'd
that's
say.
that was the next topic. That well done, Bishop, for like like with the smooth transition. But I was gonna say like, yeah, there is a lot of like racism in the South, especially in the like South Asian communities. But like, do you think it's up to us for us to educate our friends and family? Because even like within our family, like there's a lot of like even in like the Nepalese community, there's a lot of like racism in there. So do you think it's up to us to like educate our family and friends who are less aware of these situations and less aware of like the struggles that like other ethnic minorities have been through?
I'm not
You
gonna
think-
lie. I'm like in the middle with this. Like it's like, oh yeah, like if you're older, like part of the older generation, I'm like, yeah, I would like try and help you out. Yeah, but I'm thinking at the same time, like, bro, if it's like someone like my age and they're being racist, I'll be like, you're 18, innit? Like obviously, if you start being racist like to anyone outside, you're gonna feel the consequences of this like straight away. It's like you're not
Yeah.
gonna get a job and all this, that, and the other. You're not gonna have any friends. So it's like I just feel like it's up upon yourself as well. Like, obviously, we can teach people about racism as well, but it's upon yourself to go out there and research and then like obviously understand like why like what every other race is about. Do you know what I mean? As in, I just think like we should obviously be teaching people as well, but it's just like it's up to you. Like you should know by now, and like you can look it up yourself as well. You can just look
Yeah.
up all different cultures. You can get immersed in these different cultures. Like go to visit these countries. I don't know. Maybe it's like kind of easy for me to come and say this now, but I just think like if you're older, then I would help you. But then like I'll like teach you the correct way. But then like in the community, like someone like 18, so like an Asian person, innit? 18, 19-year-olds, like they just start going around being racist to everyone and anyone. I'm just like what's up with you? But then again, we say this, and then
Yeah.
like we like generalize white people a lot too. So isn't that aren't we trying to be kind of being racist towards white people too? We like, oh, what you guys eat is salt, like you have no like what's seasoning in your food, like it's like stuff like that. So it's like, what about that in it as well? When you think about it, although it doesn't have like massive consequences on people, like white people's lives, like or in terms of how we are like impacted by racism.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of being racist too, isn't it?
No, that's a
Yeah, but no, I've heard some people say some mad things about like people that have ethnic background say some mad things about when they talk about like white people being racist. Like they would just say stuff like, "Oh, it's in their blood," or like white people is inherently more bad. But I guess it's the fact that we have a more focus on white racism is because they're the people in power I guess, at the
Exactly.
moment, and
At the moment.
they're the ones making decisions.
At the moment.
Yeah, well, we don't know. Like China's coming soon. I don't know.
It's a
what's
noughts
gonna
and crosses
happen,
vibe,
you know,
isn't it?
20 years time. Yeah, man. So that's the focus now. But I do feel like a lot of ethnic people are racist to white people as well.
Yeah.
Like if they had the opportunity to like be racist and
In
have
it,
that
I was gonna
power,
say like say a
power
Nepalese shop
as well.
like a Nepalese shop owner, like if a Nepalese person went into like apply for a job and a white person came in, yeah, that Nepalese person is definitely getting a job over the white person. And like I say definitely, but
Yeah.
as in like I've seen it happen in it. I think it's a lot more like you're more likely to do that. And then like an Indian restaurant, if someone that was I don't know about Indian businesses, let me not say on those, yeah. But I definitely know for a fact if like a white person came and applied for a job in like a Nepalese shop and then like a Nepalese person did as well, they would like
Yeah.
probably try and pick
Yeah.
the Nepalese person over that innit? And then that's kind of like discrimination, like because of your race and not getting a job in it, workplace discrimination as well. So
Yeah.
like stuff like that, it happens a lot. We just like put a blind eye to it because it's like we just think, oh yeah.
'Cause a white person will never apply to a job.
Yeah,
with
but
a
I'm just
job.
saying,
It's
I'm just
the-
saying.
the environment isn't-
I'm saying if it was to happen like that, that's what I was trying to say. Like
I feel like that's because, like, we like as like Nepalese people were like, you know what, when they hire like Nepalese, I feel like because it's more trustworthy to hire a Nepalese person than a white person because of like what like the white people they know like what white people are, and like I feel like because they're Nepalese, they're from the same background, they're from the same culture. I feel like it's okay
Yeah.
to do that sort of stuff because like white people have been like they as Bishop said they've been like the favorites for like everything. If you me and like Bishop and another white guy, say Steve or someone, went to apply for a job in like some high end like FTSE 100 company, who do you think is more likely to get the job? Like the guy Steve, innit?
hey, if I'm
Like-
educated and like he's not
Nah.
right, it's me, innit? What you?
No, but
Nah.
if all of you are on the same like education level, if you got hold the same degree, same qualifications, Steve's
No,
more
no,
likely to get
I
it.
obviously agree. Like, there's so many studies that have said like, oh, a white, like a name on a resume or like a CV that's like sounds
Yeah.
more ethnic, it gets thrown in the bin or like it doesn't get picked as much or whatever. But I don't know, man. I think it is changing though. Like you see a lot of like
Yeah.
brown people are like Google and CEO. He's brown, bro. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what his name is, but like all these other companies, they're hiring all these like. I think it's more on merit as well now. But I'm not.
I feel like there is more merit, but like you do get a lot of companies like hiring more brown people to like more ethnic people.
But do you not think like capitalism will just put those companies at disadvantage anyway? Like if you're hiring not the best, and if you're hiring just based on race, that company will not have the best workers working for them, so therefore they might not be able to keep up with the competition of a non-racist company which just goes about on merit. So the market will just put that company down. Do you not think so?
No, I feel like there's. I feel like it's to do with merit and it's to do with like fairness as well, because like you do want the best person for your company, but like what's that saying when like it's like white people like the best people for the company? No, it's gonna be other people as well. So I think the company, what they should do is they should only hire people like for their merit, innit? Like that's but obviously.
I was gonna say, you know how a lot of these companies, yeah, have like a diversity like quote. I think they
That's
do.
what I'm
like,
saying. They do have
they have a
do,
diversity
lot of
quota,
people,
yeah.
yeah.
So I was
That's
gonna
what I
say
was
like,
gonna
say you know when you apply for a job, and obviously kind of peak, but it's a question I want to ask you. Yeah, say you apply for a job, and then it's like, imagine, okay, if I was white, yeah, and then a brown person I was hired, and I had beef with that brown person, I'd be like, bro, you're not even all that. You only got hired because of the diversity quota. But I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is that would you like imagine like you get hired in a company and then like it's like. Because I would want to get hired on my merit rather than under the whole like diversity quota. That's what I was trying to say anyway. Like I don't know why companies have to have that like a diversity quota. Like do you know what I mean?
It's to do with like to show they're not racist, and like obviously it's those companies where like who are
I know-
racist
I find
that are like
I find it so condescending though. I'm not like, do you not find it?
I don't
kinda
care, man.
condescending
Like
that-
No,
as
but the
long
thing
as
is,
I'm getting
obviously,
hired.
if I get a 60K, 70K job, yeah, like
Exactly, I don't care,
and
man.
then the sole reason I got it, and I might even have gotten it over like a better like what's suited like white person or like someone else, because I'm brown or because I lived in like a poorer area when I was younger. I would happily take it, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying like like it's just it is kind of a bit like raw. Like I wouldn't want the job just because I'm brown though. Like oh, because you're brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like when people do that, yeah, it's a bit like it's a bit too late down the road. Like the government should be investing in schools where like ethnic minorities live, or like where the socioeconomic background isn't as high. They should be investing in money there so their grades just go up. Where you just produce better students, produce better like workforce for society, not like have like quotas. It's just an easy way out sort of thing. I think the investment should be done when they're young. Like I know that's harder to do, but I feel like all these quotas, having quotas and all that, is a bit of an easy way
Yeah.
out of doing things.
So like, yeah, I get what you mean. Like, there is an easy way out. Like, but I feel like for companies to save face, I feel like they have to do that because I feel like the people with the diversity quotas, they're the companies that might be racist as well. Like, so they're trying to like show face and be like, look, we are hiring like ethnic minorities and stuff. But
Yeah, go on. I was gonna say
I was just go on. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think companies just hire based on like I'm not saying only companies that are racist to diversity quotas. I just think it's like a trend now to have a diversity quota, and like
Yeah.
even like in Nepal you'd have like a diversity quota where it's like like different castes and stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I think it's just a thing that's going around, and I think that way people are, like of color are getting like higher positions. But I think also maybe reward merit as well, and like Bishop was saying, allow people from ethnic backgrounds to get into these positions in the first place, rather than like once we get there. Do you know what I mean? Like so, we're already being filtered out until we get to these companies anyway, and then I think so because of that diversity quota kind of does help now in a sense where it's like we're gonna get picked. But then I think, like Bishop was saying, in the going forward in the future, like forget diversity quota and just like invest more in like schools and ethnic, like where a lot of ethnic people are.
Yeah.
So kind of like levels the playing field.
I personally think that UK is more classist than racist.
Mm.
Yeah, because we mentioned like all these like there's quotas for some ethnic people in the diversity program, but when you consider like lower working class white people as well, like these guys are like super disadvantaged, like and so we talk about like white people have an advantage, but that's mostly when we look at it, that's like a top 20%, top 30%, so of the economic class that have the advantage, I would say. But when you go down to the bottom 30%, like even with the white people, like it's not like good.
Yeah.
And so I feel like government should also do a better job in terms of like with where children come from low socioeconomic backgrounds, of encouraging.
I feel like no, there are companies that do that because there are companies when you apply for jobs. Because I'm recently applying for jobs as well. I see like where they've asked you like, oh, have both of your parents gone to university? Like, did you go to a state school? Did you go to a private school? So I feel like there are like those socio-economic quotas as well. But I do get what you mean. Like, there's a lot of classism in the UK as well, where like you're gonna be at a bigger advantage if you're from a better class, if you're from like a wealthy, better off background, anyways. So I feel like that's another big problem as well. So let's moving on. Has anyone like ever experienced any racism themselves? Like, have you guys like personally experienced racism?
Yeah. So the recent thing that happened that comes to mind. I mean, because of COVID, I haven't really seen that many people.
Yeah.
But so when I was working NCS, it's almost been like 2 years now. But this just sticks to my mind because I remember it was like a charity day, and in NCS I was looking after like these 12, like around eight kids, so 16-year-olds or young people, who were organizing like a charity day where they would raise some money for St. Mark's Hospital, which is like down the road from me, and what the idea was that they would help people pack bags in Morrison's, and in return they would ask for donations. And I remember like these two black young people were helping these two elderly pack their bags, and they were doing a good job. Like they were being very polite, and they were being very helpful. And afterwards, the lady so the black young person held out their bucket for the donation, and that lady just gave him the dirtiest look, like just looked him up and down, yeah. And then considering that this person has been so helpful to her, and it's helped her for like a good 2 minutes, pack like 10 shopping bags,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
She just gave me a dirty look. It was just like, oh my days. And then she comes up to me, yeah, and then like gives me a smile, and then just puts like 20p in my bucket.
Christ.
Like it was just.
No, but as in
It
you're
was
brown
just-
too. So what's wrong with her? Like, as in, I don't get it.
Yeah,
So why is she
that's
being?
what I mean, so
Yeah,
she-
go on. I was like, why is she being racist to like a younger like a person and like a black kid? Yeah, but then that she being like nice to you. Like, I don't get that. Like, cause you're brown, bro. Like,
I guess like. Yeah,
I don't. Yeah.
It's like positive racism. Whatever.
Nah.
But yeah, so yeah, so I was just super shocked because so even when like someone has been clearly helpful to you, I would understand like someone being
Yeah.
racist, like if they're feeling bad or like if they're feeling negative about someone. But when someone is trying to do something
Damn,
positive and you're still racist, I feel like those two kids just won't forget that, and then like it will just mean that they probably won't be. It will just put them like it's just like you're punishing someone for doing something good. I just think that's just like
Horrible,
really
man.
bad because it just makes them not want to be nice like later on.
Exactly. That just
So-
puts their mentality at like such a low point when they're like they feel like they're doing something helpful, but then they're just being put down because that's horrible, man. Like,
I was gonna say I have like a similar experience too, like with like Bishop, yeah, where
Yeah.
where it's like it was at NCS too. I was also working looking after like 12 younger kids, and then imagine what's it called like I was walking around with these kids, and then we're in like like I said, the area that I'm in, like it's not a very, it is an ethnic area, but so it's like I was shocked to see it happen too. But anyway, so I'm walking with these kids, and these kids are obviously like 16-year-olds. Like they're kind of like, obviously they don't want to be there because it's like kind of not fun, because again it was charity day, so it's like we were to go walking around helping people and stuff.
yeah.
So it's like yeah, as a 16-year-old, I was obviously excited when I did NCS2. I was excited about like the fun part, but then it kind of is kind of a little bit not boring, but it is a little bit like menial, and like, and the thing is you're doing it for one day, and it's like obviously you're doing little things, and like little things do matter, but then so you're not gonna change the world, and even me, I was like, oh, it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna change anything. I'm just doing it because I have to do it part of NCS. So they were just walking around slowly, yeah. And then I'm like, yo guys, come on, hurry up. Obviously I was like the mentor, so obviously I have to be like cheerful and be like, yo guys, come on, hurry up. We need to be quicker, blah blah blah. Anyway, I do this, yeah, and then some random like lady just walks past. She's white too, and she's like, oh yeah, so my team, like most of my team was like black as well, or ethnic. So she says, oh, crack that whip, and they'll walk quicker or something like that. And I was like, what? Like I was so shocked. I was like, no way. Like I'm kind of smiling now, but it's not funny at all, innit? It's like.
Nah.
I was like, what the hell? Like, what you guys like? What do you mean? And then like, I was like, how? What'd you say? And she just said it again. And then like, she walked off, and I was so shocked. Like, obviously, you know when you think about it, when someone's being racist towards you, or like someone's been racist in front of you, you think, oh, I'll be able to like speak on it straight away. I would like
Yeah.
nip it in the bud and stuff. But it's just like there's a shock factor as well, innit? Because
Yeah, you don't know what to say.
I'm just like, what? And then like obviously the kids went and confronted her and stuff. But I was just so baffled. Like, this lady just said this, and then like, and she I don't know, did she say it as a joke? Like, I didn't really get it, or I didn't really find it funny, to be honest. But I was just like so baffled. So like that was like a mad racist incident as well. And obviously you hear the odd like, oh, like you I don't hear it now because obviously my mom's got me like a nice little cologne, yeah. But hey, when I was younger, fam, I was always getting like, oh, you smell like curry, this, that, and the other. Like I don't know, man. But then again, it's like I don't really like. It is kind of, it has a racist undertone to it, but
Yeah.
I think we're just like kind of climatized to it as well. Like, we're just like, oh yeah, whatever. And then again, I don't know if you guys feel the same. Obviously, this is my country too, but I'm just like, oh, like if they've been racist to me, I'm like, you know what, it is your country, man. Like I don't mean that, oh, like you can be racist towards me, but I'm just saying like, alright, whatever. And if you came to Nepal, don't let me
Watch out. We don't
Watch
do
out, that's gonna be,
At the
yeah.
don't let me
You
catch
be
you
like,
slipping.
get out of my country.
You smell like sausage.
See, even Bishop just said you smell like sausage and mash. Like, what do you mean, like? But I'm just saying, yeah. Like, what? Let me catch you in my country, bro. Come back to Nepal. We'll see you in it while gone. But yeah,
Be
yeah.
done done out here, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually had like I wouldn't know if I would call this a racist incident or what? But obviously, like in school, you do get people calling you like curry muncher and that sort of stuff. Like,
I'm sorry. Man.
like you didn't
But
really
it's
deep
true.
it back then. Yeah,
The
it's
thing
true.
is, it's true. So I'm
Yeah.
laughing along, bro. Like it's like I think that's more of a stereotype though. I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
On like, but then they'll like make fun of like the red dot and stuff. They'll do like that sort of stuff. Like when you had Tika and stuff, they make fun of that. And like, but like back then, obviously I didn't deep it that much. But this happened like, was it two years ago now? So obviously I was in a club, and like I was let's say I was under the influence of alcohol, and like when I usually go into a club, it gets really packed, and obviously you bump into people a lot, right? Like you can't really help it, and obviously I'm quite a big guy, so I bump into a lot more people. Yeah.
not anymore though.
Nah, still.
BMK to MMK.
But but like back then it was still BMK. So, but like yeah. So I was with this group of guys, and like there was this white guy that was there, but he wasn't really a part of the group. He was just tagged along. And I was with like it was me and like my two black mates at uni, and like, I was with them mostly. But then one of the black mates was like friends with like a bigger group, and we were just in that whole group. And there was obviously this white guy, so I was like quite being friendly to everyone. I was just like, yeah, I was just doing myself, just dancing, like chilling. And then like, obviously I bump into a lot of people, and I say sorry afterwards, but like I'm bumping into a lot of people, right? So I bump into him, I say sorry, and then he's like, oh yeah, it's calm. And then like he comes up to me, and I think I bump into him a bit more, and then he comes up to me, he's like, oh, you need to leave. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, you need to leave. And I thought he was joking, so I like shrugged it off. And then he like comes up seriously to me, and he's like, why haven't you left it? I told you to leave. And I'm just like, oof, like what does this mean? Like, and then I asked him why do you want me to leave? And he's like, you know why. And then I'm just thinking like, why would he ask me to leave that much if he didn't give like, surely if it was because of like bumping and stuff, surely you would have said, oh, you're bumping into me, you're pissing me off, go away or something. That I understand, but he didn't like give any explanation, he didn't give any reason. And then like it was got to the point where like he pushed me like to like leave me, and then I just wasn't like, I was very confused at it. And I feel like there was some like racial overtones to it. Like I feel like because there was like two black people, he couldn't really like say anything, but like because I'm like a brown person, that's easier to pick on maybe. So I feel like that might have been racist, but I'm not too sure. Like for me it felt racist, but I'm not too sure as well.
I was gonna say, you know how like that's pretty bad though, but I mean, I think it's just with alcohol and all that, and people, I don't know, but yeah, I was gonna say,
The truth comes out.
you know what, me and Bishop here, like, we went to like, it's not in the UK, but obviously it's like I think it was a racist experience, innit? I said, me and Bishop, what am I talking about?
Is in Watford.
What happened in Watford?
Oh, nothing like when Japan or
Germany, yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, Germany,
Bro,
of all places.
I think it was racist, man. Me, Bishop, and like
Wow.
our other friend were trying to go into a club, yeah, and then like I don't know, they just didn't let us in, and I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, I obviously I had never felt that in it, but obviously I kind of look, I don't look German, obviously, I don't look white. I'm guessing because you know how like Germany, there's a lot of Turkish people there as well, innit?
Yeah.
So they just thought like we were like some Turkish man, yeah, trying to get into this club, and I was just like, why are we not allowed in? And I don't know, we're never allowed in. Us, we were never allowed in.
I feel like we're gassing ourselves saying we look.
Okay, fine, but I'm just saying,
It
bro,
was
I'm just saying that they were being racist towards us, though, innit, for sure. I think
Yeah.
the bounces,
Yeah.
but
It was kind of early. It wasn't a case of like, oh, we went to the club at like 1:30, like way late, and then they just didn't allow entry. Like I feel like it was like
Like
what,
a
like
Tuesday.
11 or like 10:30.
it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday as well. Like it wasn't even like
so
the weekend.
clearly there was space in the club and there was no queue at all.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
like-
and the club looked bad. Like it didn't look that good anyway from the outside. So I mean, we didn't get into whatever. But I'm just saying they were being racist towards us, man.
You're better off, innit?
Yeah, but again, like I said, though, we get that, and obviously, I mean, I don't know if it's because of the way I look. Yeah, I mean, I look kind of bummy now, but I'm saying even like before, yeah, when I had like a proper, say I have a proper fresh trim, yeah, and then I like. I feel like people just like clutch their like phones and their bags very close to them when I maybe I'm not saying all the time, innit? And maybe I'm just like kind of expecting to see it, so I see it more. But I just think like I think you see that a little bit as well. But
Maybe you're looking ping and he's clutching his gun.
Ooh.
Nah, but I'm just saying, bro. Like all these things. I think the UK, like, although like with social media and all that is, you can see it's racist. But I think there's a lot of passive racism as well. Like, so people will be saying it underneath, like in their own homes and like all that as well.
Yeah.
But then like you see like why though? Like, you know, did you guys watch that like that show where they swapped out like what's it called, like Muslim kids and like white kids and like in some.
Oh,
And then-
the
and then-
meme, the
they're
meme.
buying-
And then
they're buying
and they were like,
letters.
"Oh, mom, it's the lettuce halal," and it's like, what? Like, but I'm saying obviously we know that we're finding it funny, but obviously if someone that doesn't know anything about halal meat at all, yeah, it's like they're like, why are you doing this and stuff, innit? And even on Twitter as well, like you see like when Sainsbury's released that ad about like like a black family on Christmas, yeah, like the maddest, the people are like, oh, I'm never shopping at Sainsbury's again. Like, why not? Like, what? Like a black family in the UK can't be like British? Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
But anyway, yeah, I think those are just things like that I wanted to mention.
Yeah, those are very good points. Like, yeah, I totally agree with you. But all right, so to I think we can like talk on and on about racism because it's such a big topic. Like, we can like go on forever, but like we need the podcast to end as well. Like, so I'll just wrap up what we've been said. So we talked about how like why people are being more openly racist now. Why wasn't it sooner? And we said like because of like social media, like the world's being like more global. Like, because of social media and because of all these events, like there's been a big build up. So I feel like more people are being more openly racist, and like we were talking about how what can be done to like call out people for racism, and we all agreed that people like it should be we should call them out, but like we've said stuff about maybe like people need to be anonymous on the internet as well because to protect their identities and stuff. Like you don't want people like spilling too much data about themselves to like it might to respect their privacy and stuff. And we talked about if it would ever end or not, and I think we all came to the decision well like it might not end anytime in our like lifetime. So I feel like yeah. And we also talked about racism in the South Asian communities and like how like even us as minorities, like we're like racist towards other people, to other races as well, and like we're like how big of an impact that's made. And obviously we also talked about our racism with our own experiences. So I feel like that's that. And
Well, I was gonna say,
move on to
Kishore, I was
yeah.
gonna add one thing as well. By the way, obviously we spoke about racism. We haven't, and like we kind of didn't touch on the whole racism against like Asian in terms of like Eastern Asian people as well recently because
Yeah.
of COVID too. And like I was just gonna say that even that like, I think the government hasn't done much for it. Like Trump was like out here calling it the
Use
China
the-
virus. Like
Yeah.
the whole time, do you know what I mean? So it's just like with that as well. Like, I just think there's a lot of like issues in like the UK / the world.
I mean,
like,
there was a lot of like, especially in America, there was a lot of anti-Asian like hate, like people getting like beat up on the streets because they were Asian. Like it was terrible, man.
Yeah, so I just want to
Yeah.
say obviously that too, but I mean none of us condone racism, by the way.
Yeah.
If we have any friends of ours that are racist, just let us know, and then the ties are getting cut off as well.
Cut them off.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on. I think we need to move on to a lighter topic to end the podcast. So we'll do into the square. Now I think it's my turn to pick the question, but who am I picking? Ooh, I think Bidan.
I feel like I knew it was gonna be me, bro. I feel like I knew it was gonna be me. I was like, what is it gonna be now? Go ahead, bro.
Let me.
Did I ask a question to Kisha last time? Innit? I think this guy's gonna try and stitch me up, man.
Nah. Bishop asked me last time.
No, but
Yeah, I asked him.
fair.
COVID.
What does
Were you there?
for you lot?
okay. This is
Last week? Yeah.
all right. So the question is: would you rather have £3,000 or
Okay.
300 loyal friends? Let's see that.
You know, there's something so funny. I think it was like, oh, I'd much rather have 300 loyal friends and ask them for like £20 each, and I'll have £6,000 instead, innit? Because to like a loyal friend, what's £20? Especially
Yeah.
like if they're like, you know. But I think wait, so £3,000 or 300 loyal friends, right?
No, £3,000 in the bank now, or
Or-
300 loyal friends.
No, I'd definitely choose friends, even if it wasn't for that whole thing about me me asking.
Bro, imagine, like, bro, 300 views every time.
Not just that, bro. They're loyal friends, and they're sharing every time too. So it's like
Exactly.
it's more views, but no, it's not even yet because like, bro, like it's so hard to find like 300 loyal good friends. Like you like.
Yeah.
How many friends can you name that are like loyal to you and then like you'd consider them to be a good friend anyway? Like you probably couldn't like go past like I would say let's say 100 for me. I don't know, but I'm just saying, innit? Like it's like I don't think I myself have like more than 300 like I mean more than 100 like loyal like friends that I'm bare close with. Like I'm close with
Yeah.
a little bit even.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? So I think yeah, I'll definitely choose the 300 loyal friends, and as long as they're loyal to me, and then I could even do that whole thing about asking them for
Yeah.
20 pounds each, bro. Like, I'd even say, yo, you're my loyal friend. 10 pounds each. 10 pounds each a month, and then I wouldn't have to work anymore, bro.
Be that subscription.
Bro, that's what.
How loyal of a friend are you to ask for £10 though?
No, but
If they,
I'm saying they're gonna be loyal to me regardless, isn't it? So I can
Yeah,
be like,
true.
yo, bro, I beg you, please, give me £10 a month, and then what for them that's like a phone contract, like it's like a friendship contract for them, innit? So, and then I don't have to work anymore, so I'm sorted, bro.
I think that's a good answer. All right.
Yeah.
I think this is the end of the episode for now. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for Bidan and Bishop for joining in the conversation. I feel like we talked about a really important topic here, and like obviously, like we aren't really like the right people to talk about it, but I feel like we needed to say something, especially after like the Euro finals, because it got really a lot. Like we saw a lot of hate, and I feel like we did really need to talk about it as well. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. You can find us on Instagram and Spotify. We got a little TikTok as well, so make sure you guys give that a little
Hey.
follow at Into the Square. We might be seeing some little cheeky content here and there. Never know.
But when I'm back in London again, we can do vlogs and like link ups,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
We'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Might even go to Liverpool
Whoa.
and then like
Whoa.
do
Liverpool
that what
Cup.
July 19th, but in real life, like as in, or we'll do like what happened after July 19th, and give a little update on like, our little party session in Liverpool, maybe. Who knows, innit? We'll see.
Who knows? All right. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys. Thank you Kishore as well, by the way.
thank you
Bye.
guys. Thank you for hosting.
No
the show.
worries. Bye.
And we miss you, Sandro, as well. All right, bye.
Nah, I don't. Bye.